Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, world. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are doing phenomenally well. Happy Wednesday, wherever you're tuned in from this morning. I want you to have a winning Wednesday. And I truly believe a winning Wednesday is a Wednesday where you remember your worth. Come on, y'all. I'm excited this morning because a message on my heart to be able to communicate with you. And so, regardless of what platform you're streaming in from right now, I just want to remind you that today is a new day. That is a powerful principle that I always lead with. It is a posture that reminds me that possibility is still possible. Come on, y'all. That possibility is still possible, that even in the midst of uncertainty, in the midst of doubt, in the midst of fear, in the midst of overwhelmed, you can stand on this truth that today is a new day. Maybe we need to start by just dropping that in the chat for me. Today is a new day. Today is a new day. Today is a new day. Listen to me. It's one thing to hear me say it. It's another thing for it to come through you. Because when it comes through you, it must touch you first. And so what I want you to do is I want you to posture yourself for possibility today. I firmly believe, and I have a saying that says, if you're bold in your stance, you cannot be controlled by your circumstance. Wow, come on, y'all. And if you're bold in your stance, you cannot be controlled by your circumstance. And I don't know about you right now, but there are a lot of things in our circumstance that's fighting to throw us off our stance, our identity, our belief, our value, our heart set to some degree. And what I want to encourage you to do this morning is to regain your focus. What I want to encourage you to do today is to set your perspective on the promise. What I want you to do today is to silence the noise that is happening externally so that you can hear the voice that is happening or that is speaking to you internally. A voice that says you can't quit now. The voice that says you are not your history. The voice that says you can still leave a legacy. That I want to remind you that innovation is sometimes birthed out of lack, out of moments where we have nothing. And the only thing that we have is this essence, this intuition, is really everything that God has endowed us with to be able to ignite the possibility for a greater tomorrow. I want to remind you today's a new day. Today's a new day. So I want to dive in really quick. I got a message this morning for you. It's really something that I believe is needed now more than ever. It is a message of helping you to turn your greatest disappointment into drive, into fuel, into really being able to take the things that you are experiencing, the things that you have gone through in your life, and the things that will happen, and turn the disappointments of your life into greater direction. Can I promise you one thing? That if you live in this life, you will experience some disappointments. Come on. And I have found so many of us who allow ourselves to be derailed by the disappointment. Come on. That oftentimes we allow the disappointments that have happened in our life to some degree to cause us to let up or even give up from achieving our desires, our desired state. But what I want to help you to do this morning is to truly, truly, truly turn your greatest disappointment into direction. We cannot underestimate the power and the value of the heart. I say it this way all the time, that heart is passion, heart is belief. Heart is the very things that you need in order to maneuver through the disappointments, the uncertainty, the challenges that you will have to face in the pursuit of your intended purpose, in the pursuit of your intended outcome. And there's no way to ever believe that you can finish your race, that you can accomplish what it is you were created to accomplish, that you can build that business, that you can thrive in that career, that you can lead that family, that you can lead yourself if you don't have heart. You see, so many of us are showing up and we're going through the motions of our life. And I say it this way constantly, that you can go through the motion, but not bring the emotion. Come on, y'all. And what is life if you're existing, but not living? What is life if you're surviving, but not thriving? What is life if you're going through the motions, but not making real movement? What is life if you're drowning in fear because you never activate your faith? What is life if you're so concerned about criticism that you keep allowing people to dilute you simply because they can't digest you? I mean, what is life? And here's what I believe. Everything that is alive may have life, but not everything that has life is actually living. Everything that is alive may have life, but not everything that has life is actually living. My question for you today is, are you going to make the decision to live? And to do so, to truly be able to live versus just go through the motions, we need to engage the heart. Y'all, the heart is the very thing that allows you to be transformational in a transactional world. The heart is the thing that allows you to connect authentically, connect with power, connect with purpose, to have influence, to be able to inspire change. Like, we need heart. And so many of us move through this life not protecting our hearts, not even understanding the magnitude of why we should protect our heart and the significance of what happens when a heart is damaged, when a heart is tarnished, when a heart is shook, when a heart is rocked. And now we end up showing up out of duty, but we've left the desire. And what I want to help you to do today is to put your heart back in the game. Because without your heart, there's no true creativity. There's no essence. There's no power. There's no difference making. You can't be a difference maker without heart, because the heart is the thing that makes what you do uniquely you. What I want to do really quick is I want to give you 3 things to think about as it relates to the heart. What I firmly believe is that everything in life is about flow. And for things to flow to you and to flow through you, we have to show up with an open hand. An open hand is a posture in which we have a desire to serve, but we also have the humility to receive, the humility to learn, the humility to truly be able to understand that you don't have all the pieces figured out. And that's okay. That's okay to show up and to learn from others. That's okay to show up and to learn from your losses, to learn from your circumstances, to learn from the disappointments, to learn from the failures. And for us to show up with an open hand, we must understand that an open hand is just the result of an open heart. An open hand is the result of an open heart. And when our heart shuts down, our hands also follow. And when our hands close, we can't serve, we can't receive, we can't impact, we can't love, we can't restore, we can't create. And many of us can believe that what we are creating to some degree is the most authentic version of what is possible for you. But can I drop this on you? There's a version of you that you have yet to meet. There are results that you have yet to be able to achieve. There are things that you have not been able to step into. And a lot of this is going to come by way of really, really, really being able to re-engage the heart. So I want to give you 3 ways to think about the heart before we get into the day today. The first thing is, I want you to understand and remember that you can't allow the people who have disappointed you to cause you to disappoint the people who need you. Let me say that again, that you cannot allow the people who have disappointed you to cause you to disappoint the people who need you. You see, on the other side of your closed heart is a responsibility to serve others in a way that you were uniquely gifted and or created to serve. The very fabric of your life, if you look through the threading of that fabric, you'd realize that everything has always been designed and led to one word, and that word is impact. How your unique gift and skill and ability was designed to impact the world that we now live in. That on the other side of you showing up is some level of service that brings with it some significance to impact and change the lives of others. We live in a time right now that everybody gets so self-observed, so focused on self, so focused on what they need to achieve, so focused on what benefits them. And we forget that life has nothing to do with necessarily what we receive, but everything to do with what comes out of us, what we give, what we leave. You see, at the end of your life, the thing that matters most is really one word, and that word is impact. How did you impact this world? How did you impact lives? How did you impact people? How did you impact everything that you touch? Did you impact it in a way that you destroyed it, or did you impact in a way where you propelled it into being something different or something better as a result of your interaction? And very easily, if we're not careful, what can cause us to not have that level of impact, family, listen to me closely, is because we choose not to show up simply because we are perpetuating what has happened to us. So the concept here is one that I want you to hold true to, and remember that you cannot allow the people who have disappointed you to cause you to disappoint the people who need you. Because the only way the disappointment that comes from others win is when you choose to not show up, you choose to give up, you choose to not pursue what it is you need to pursue as a result of not truly understanding that you have allowed the people who have disappointed you to cause you to disappoint the people who need you. I got two more before you go into your day. The second thing I want you to understand and remember is that we're not derailed by disappointments. We were already set up for failure by our own expectations. Can I say that again? That we were not derailed by disappointments. We were already set up for failure by our own expectations. Many times, if we're not careful, we will commit so much to our own expectations, never questioning if what we expect is even realistic, if what we expect is rooted in our own perception of what we believe is possible. Never really thinking to the point that maybe I could be wrong with what I expect. Or maybe I expect the right thing, but maybe I expect it to happen in a way that is different from how it is currently happening. And so, very much your disappointments in life were really just your disappointments because of the expectations that you had. And it takes a very humble heart to look through the lens of humility, to suppress the ego and saying, maybe what I thought wasn't accurate. Maybe what I thought would happen and how I thought it would go is not necessarily the way that it actually is supposed to go. And how many of us really take the time out to say, maybe I was wrong? And it's one thing to believe that you have made a mistake, but where the lines get blurred is when you believe that because you have made a mistake, that you are a mistake. And so coming to the revelation that you could be wrong doesn't mean that you are a mistake. It just means that you're human. Can I give you the last one? The last thing to understand is you cannot spell the word disappointment without the word appointment. Come on. And an appointment speaks to a specific time. Many of us allow disappointments to derail us because potentially we saw the right thing happening, but we had the wrong time in mind. And it's so critical to understand that, yes, I could be looking at the right thing, wanting the right thing, but maybe potentially not even realizing that my timing may be off. All of these principles don't allow the people who disappoint you to cause you to disappoint the people who need you. We're not derailed by disappointment. We were set up for failure by our own expectations, and you can't spell disappointment without the word appointment. All of these principles just really lead to one thing: ownership. All of these principles lead to one thing, and that one thing is ownership. And I firmly believe that we have to get to a point in our life that we're willing to take ownership over our lives. And when we take ownership, we take back our power. When we take ownership, we choose not to blame others for ultimately why we can't achieve, why we can't become, why we can't restore. When we take ownership, family, that's how we truly get to the point in the position that we can firmly have a healthy perspective around disappointment, so that our disappointments can turn into our greatest direction. Listen, maybe you're walking through a journey in a season of your life right now that you constantly are dealing with frustration because you're trying to accomplish something, but no matter what you're trying to do or what you try to do, you keep hitting this brick wall. I firmly believe frustration is the result of an ineffective approach. I want to encourage you today and remember that you have the ability to take ownership today to ultimately change your tomorrows. But the only way we can go from our yesterdays to brighter tomorrows is by what we choose to do today. I want to encourage you to not let up, to not give up, and more importantly, don't quit. You may need to change your approach, but I want to encourage you to keep going, keep pursuing, keep stretching. And if your mind can conceive it and your heart will believe it today, then your hands can create the life, the impact, the legacy you desire. Until next time.